Let's look at this question here, where we are required to sketch the parabola function. So we're doing 4.2.1. All right. So it says calculate the coordinates of the x-intercept of the graph of f. So we're going to take our equation. So x squared minus 2x minus 3, and we're going to equate it to 0. Now let's factorize. We're going to have x minus 3, and then x plus 1 is equals to 0. So this gives us x is equals to 3, or x is equal to -1. Now we're going to conclude that then our x-intercepts are 3 is to 0, and -1 is to 0. Okay, next question, calculate the coordinates of the turning point of f of the graph of f. Now, in getting the turning point, you could use your x-intercepts, or you could use the formula for getting the x value of the turning point. So whichever one you choose, you should get the same answer. So when I use this one, x is equals to -v over 2a. Now we're going to substitute. So we're going to say x is equal to negative into -2, because the b is given as a negative. Divide this by what? By 2. And the value of a is 1. So 2 into 1. All right, now let's see what answer we get here. So this is going to be 4. This is going to be 2 divided by 2, which is going to give us 1. Now we need to find the y value. So we're going to say f at 1. So we're going to have 1 squared minus 2 into 1, and then minus 3. So then now this is going to be what? 1 minus 2, which is -1, minus 3, which is going to give us what? -4. So then now that means that our value is -4, the y value. Right, -4. So we can then conclude that the turning point is 1 is to 4. Right, done. Next question says, write down, oh, we need to sketch the graph. That's what the next question is saying. So we need to sketch the graph. So I'm going to sketch the graph over here. All right, so now let's put our intercepts here. So we're going to have -1, which is going to be here. And then we're going to have 3, which will be somewhere there. And then you're going to have your y-intercept, which is -3. And then you're going to have your turning point, which is 1 is to 4 somewhere here. Right, now we just sketch this graph here. So it's going to go like this. Okay, now we need to label these points here. So the x value here is -1. Over here it's 3. And then here we're having -3 as the y-intercept. The y value here is 1. And let me label it here. 1 is to -4. Right, so that's our graph. It says, the next question says, write down the equation of the tangent that passes through the turning point of the function of f. Now, if it passes through the turning point, that means that it's actually a horizontal line, right? So it passes like this, and you can see that even the mark allocation is like 1 mark. So it's like a horizontal line like that. Now, if it's a horizontal line, it means that its equation is in the form of y is equal to something. So it's going to be y is equal to the y value of the turning point, which is -4, right? Let's now remove that. So you're saying that the equation of this tangent is y is equal to -4. Next, use the graph of f to determine the values for x if 2x squared minus 4x minus 6 is less or equal to 0. Now look at this, factorize this here. You're going to end up with what? Take 2 as a common factor, x squared minus 2x minus 3. Now, if we check, this is actually the graph of f that we are working with. So the question actually wants us to determine where the graph of f is less or equal to 0. Less or equals to 0, this is where the graph is below the x-axis. So now if we focus on this portion here, we can see that this is where the graph is on, that is where the graph is below the x-axis actually. So then now we're going to say it's from -1 to 3. So we're going to say it's whereby x is greater than -1 but less than 3. Or someone could have written it like negative from, so this is another option, or from -1 until 3, and you use circular brackets. All right, so we are done with this question here.